the reason I love them so much and I'm so crazy about oils is because they are able to enhance, empower, and support every single practice that we can do for ourselves, as far as well-being, vitality, vibrance, and self-healing. So we've got all those powers, within us, but essential oils are here to support every single one of our best efforts. So that's why I'm obsessed with essential oils. So that's, out of all the things I can tell you about me, the most important one is that I'm obsessed with essential oil and with education and empowering people with information. So that's me. Thanks, Todd.
I love it. I love it. And you are passionate and really passionate about, of course, Young Living essential oils based on having an inside track of how they're produced, right?
Oh, yes. Okay, I'm going to try we'll try to turn the video on and see what happens, because I just love seeing you guys. But it is true. I wasn't joking when I said you've got to start somewhere. I'm glad you started, even if it's with a different company, because Young Living is so unique in the essential oil space because of our seed to seal process, because of the fact that we grow our own products and the quality that we're able to ensure by owning the entire process. I actually think it's helpful when people start with another brand, because they're able to see such a dramatic difference in the potency and the quality. My own mom started with a different brand, and it was peppermint specifically that she was like, oh yeah, well, bring some of the Young Living peppermint when you come home for Christmas. I said, but you've got your own brand. She's like, yeah, but that's more like peppermint flavoring. That's more like a peppermint candy. That one is yours is like the herb. It's like very potent. And she wasn't paid to say that by any marketing, any advertising, but she's absolutely right. Ours are therapeutic grade and a lot more potent because they're pure.
Love it. Love it. Awesome. Well, look, this topic, welcome Kim, welcome Diamond, Rose. We hope you feel better. Rose is actually a little bit under the weather, kind of some symptoms from the second COVID vaccine shot. So hopefully you'll bounce back quickly, Rose, up there in Binghamton. But this topic for me is really important. I actually talked about in January wanting to make a transformation, right? And one of the variables of transformation for me was weight. I have been steady in my weight, steadily increasing, slowly, but steadily increasing for 25 years plus. And so one of my goals was to get back to the weight that I was when I exited college, which was a long time ago. Okay. I'm glad that Stephen and Rodney's on one, because he would bust my chops about that. It was a long time ago. But so a quick story. So I actually started a program that is a weight loss program that really kind of helps, really go after a lifestyle change in weight. And it's the program that Lauren works for. And I said, I'll support her and go on the program, right? And of course, integrate our supplements and integrate, oils, integrate Ningxia into that plan. Well, funny story is we finally set up an appointment to get our Maryland license. We had Utah licenses, and we went to the DMV on Monday. And the guy asked me, hey, have you ever had a Maryland license before? I'm go, now I think about it, I did, right? And so back when I was 16 years old, right? 16 years old, I got my driver's license, had a license. So he went and looked for the information, pulled it up, and he goes, is this information still accurate? I looked at it, I'm like, OMG, the weight on the license is my exact weight now. I couldn't believe it. So wow. I overachieved. Oh yeah.
His weight the same as his driver's license when he was 16.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
how much weight.
So it blew my mind, because it was overwhelming, because the objective and goal was college, and I beat that objective and goal back to high school. But it's not to focus on that element. I mean, clearly I'm excited about that. Now it's about maintaining it. And one of the interesting facts is that there was no exercise, right, included in that. And I've been pretty stagnant for a long time. And so as summer approaches here, I'm really excited about getting back out there, being like my cousin, Vicky, active mind, active body, and getting out there on a tennis court, doing some riding, doing some biking, doing some running. And as I think about that, clearly, I am a different beast than I was when I was 16, 17 years old. So the weight's good, but there's some other challenges that I'll feel. And so I'm excited about this topic because as I think about being more active and I'm putting out there in the universe, it's going to be a need for products to support me in enabling that and recovery, and just really supporting the pains that come along with a body that isn't 16 anymore, trying to do things because my mind would think I can still do it, that I can't do as much as I want to do. So anyway, with that, I want to turn it over to Leslie, Dr. Leslie Lewis, to walk us through some of her recommendations and some of her experience with products that really support health and wellness, but specifically fitness, and some of her favorites. And I have a slide that I'm going to actually, slide deck that I'm going to try to show.
We're getting double fit today.
Oh God.
And just like Todd said, it's not really about tonight. We're not focusing on healthy weight. We are focusing on some of my favorite products, the ones that I actually use when it comes to fitness, movement, supporting an active lifestyle. As you can see, this picture is from a different presentation that I made about the Young Living gym bag and just different things. We're not going to get to all of these. If we covered every product in this picture, it would be a 3-hour class. So I just cherry picked some of my absolute favorites. And actually, we're going to start off with one that's not even on the screen. Quick question for those of you who I can see, has anybody used, we're going to start off with one that is one of my favorites. I take it every single day, and it's called AgilEase. Has anybody used AgilEase before? It is a supplement. It is one of the reasons I'm excited about this class tonight is I get to talk to you guys about some products that really are unsung heroes of Young Living. Like, they almost never get talked about. We're an essential oils company, so we don't usually get into supplements. Taught a couple of supplement classes. AgilEase is one of my favorites. It is all about, Todd, do you have a bottle right there?
I do.
Perfect. Will you take out a pill and just show them what color it is?
Sure.
Because I color coded the whole presentation in honor of AgilEase. So all the trim is the same color as AgilEase. So he's going to pull one of the pills out.
You got me hooked on this, by the way. I can't even see. Okay,
there you go. Okay, you guys see that? It's that bright yellowish orange sunshiny color. AgilEase is a joint health supplement. It supports and protects your joints. It's really beneficial for athletes, active individuals, but also just for people who are, getting up there in age, seniors, and start having just discomfort in the joints due to unhealthy inflammation cycles. This is straight from the product page where it says it's a perfect companion to an active lifestyle because it does support and promote healthy cartilage health. It supports the body's response to acute inflammation in healthy individuals. That's what we have to say because it's not a drug, it is a supplement. So it's intended to support healthy individuals. However, I will tell you that what this does for your joints and your cartilage is also very much within the realm of repairing. Okay, it helps to support healthy joint flexibility and more mobility. And it's formulated with some really interesting ingredients. We're going to talk a little bit about ingredients tonight because I think it's such an interesting backstory with AgilEase, but it's formulated with ingredients and as well as essential oils. So when he held that little tablet up, you could see it's filled with a powder, but it's also got essential oils inside that little capsule. So when it says that it helps to ease acute joint discomfort to improve quality of life, I tell you, these magic pills right here. I've been dancing since I was 6 years old, and my ankles creak, they snap, they crackle, they pop when I go up the stairs, when I walk, and it's, as far as I know, it's a hereditary thing. My mom has the same thing, but mine got really bad when I was in college. And you could hear me walking around the office when I was out of AgilEase because the pop comes back. But when I'm taking my AgilEase every day, you can't hear me coming. And so it's really cool to be able to have a product that has such visible impact. And I can definitely tell the difference between playing tennis with or without. Todd, you said I got you hooked on this product. Tell me a little about that.
Well, first of all, anytime you say it's a favorite product of yours, I want to understand why, and I want to actually probably follow, right? Because you've tried many products. Now, so it's a funny story because you probably don't remember this, but back, I think 2 times ago when I was in Utah, you stood up, right? We were going through some things, and you stood up from the couch and you walked and you cracked like a freaking like Rice Krispies, right? So
yes,
I'm like, what is that?
I got the Lewis joint.
I'm like, what is that?
Joints.
Yeah, and you said specifically, you said, see, that's why they need to get AgilEase back in stock. This is the way I sound when I'm not taking AgilEase. You remember that? You remember that?
I don't remember that specifically, but it is true. It's true every day, Todd.
So, and we talked about it a little bit, and obviously, I'm actually, my joints are always like feeling not inflamed, but just sore. And so I'm like, I'm going to start taking it every day and see if I see a difference, which I do already. And so as I become more active, I know this is something I want to continue to take. But yeah, that's why I'm hooked on it.
Let's talk a little bit about the ingredients. Thanks for sharing that. So that cool color, obviously Young Living doesn't add anything to our products to get to achieve a certain color. That color comes from the ingredients. So inside those capsules, it's a unique and powerful combination of frankincense resin powder. So you think about, we've got 2 different kinds of frankincense, but it's not the frankincense essential oil that's in this product. It's the resin powder, because there's different compounds and constituents that are non-water soluble. So they're not going to come out of the resin and go up in the steam distillation there or in the resin tapping. So what's left behind is still beneficial to your health. So this is one of the only products that actually gets you the full spectrum of what frankincense has to offer, because it has the actual resin powder in it. It also has UC2, which is undenatured collagen. And when we're talking about collagen, a lot of us take it as a beauty supplement, but it is a really important building block, not just for the skin and the hair and the nails, but of course for the joints. Most of what you're getting on the market is called denatured collagen. It's just easier to work with. It's easier to synthesize in a lab. And what that is if you think about collagen on a molecular level, it's shaped like a balled up piece of spaghetti. Okay, think of it that way. Really tricky to work with. What they do is they denature it, and that straightens out. That's like uncooked spaghetti. That straightens it out into a straight line. Now that makes it easier to count. That's easier to work with in a lab, but your body doesn't recognize it as collagen because that's not the shape. It just doesn't recognize it. So it has to go to the extra work of making it usable. Undenatured collagen is what's in this AgilEase. And so it is in the shape and the form that is the most bioavailable, that your body can easily recognize and use much more, like hundreds of times more of this collagen than if you're using some other collagen supplement, whereas your body will mostly just pass that through unrecognized. So this is much more bioavailable. It also has hydroloric acid, calcium fructobrate, difficult to say, but easy to use by your body, and a specially formulated proprietary blend of our Young Living oils that were selected because of their benefits to the health of your joints. Now, there's one other thing I want to bring up about AgilEase before we move on. So I talked about, we've got 2 different kinds of frankincense. This actually comes from the powder in AgilEase comes from sacred frankincense. So that powdered resin is a natural byproduct of the steam distillation process of our sacred frankincense, Boswellia sacra. And it's grown in the Salalah farm in Salalah, Oman, which is a very special location because of the soil composition. The composition of this plant is very unique. It's much more nutrient dense, and the resin is much more beneficial to the joints than the frankincense that's grown in other parts of the world. So that's why we use the sacred frankincense resin instead of the regular frankincense resin, which we actually have more of, but it's actually better for your joints because of the soil there. Okay, so that's a little nerdy fun fact for you right there. It also has Northern Lights black spruce in it. Now this is an essential oil that you don't usually think of ingesting, but the amounts that are in it are definitely not harmful. So now we're going to talk about how to take this, how to use it, how to get the most out of it before we move on to my next top pick favorite. So AgilEase, Young Living used to have a joint supplement. If any of you have been with Young Living for a long time, you might remember a product called BLM, which does not stand for Black Lives Matter. It stands for bones, ligaments, and muscles. And it was a supplement. You had to take 6 capsules a day, and you had to take it for, I think it was 2 months or something like that before you started to see. You had to take it every single day for 2 months before you'd start to feel the benefits. AgilEase, you only need to take 2 capsules a day, and at 14 days, so every day for 2 weeks, I take it every day for about 3 days, and I stop popping and snapping in my joints. So I already know it's working. But at 14 days, you're going to be able to see some real changes in your joints health. And then BLM had a ceiling. Okay, so it could support your joints to a certain point. AgilEase has a compounding effect where you continue to take it, and it can actually increase your flexibility and mobility beyond your starting point. So those are incredible reasons why AgilEase is the better product to take. It's the newer one. Yes, I'm actually saying it even though we're recording. It's the better product to take. If you are taking BLM, throw it out and try AgilEase. A lot of people were like, no, but I love my BLM, because you guys know if your joints are hurting you, then anything that can help is a godsend. But AgilEase is above and beyond. The lab really outdid themselves in this formulation. Are there any questions about AgilEase before we move on to my next top fave?
Is there a certain time in the day you should take it?
So the general rule, my rule, this is, okay, you are recording, but this is my rule about supplements. The best time to take it is when you remember. Now this is one that I take in the mornings because it doesn't bother my stomach at all when I take it. So that's actually kind of how I decided what to put where in this presentation. I've got my pre-workout favorites, my mid-workout favorites, and then after working out. I take AgilEase before I go to yoga in the morning.
Okay.
But there's no, problem with taking it with lunch or taking it before you go to bed. Just whenever you're taking your supplements, put 2 AgilEase in there and you're good to go. Are there any other questions about AgilEase?
How many in a bottle? Is it a month worth or 2 months? What's in a bottle?
Good. Yeah, it's about a 30-day supply. So you get 60 capsules in a bottle. So I put this one on my ER every month.
Okay.
And I've got a couple of bottles stocked away in the cabinet just in case they ever go out of stock, because I just can't. I need my AgilEase. But yeah, that one bottle is a 1-month supply for one person.
Great question, Ricky. I still can't believe you don't remember that that discussion when you you were cursing the company because they were out of stock. Remember that?
This is one, Todd. This is one that I feel like I don't know what goes on behind the scenes with supply chain. I know that nature really dictates what we have when, but we really I can't go without my AgilEase. So if you have joint struggles, if you're a dancer, if you're athletic at all, or you're just, getting mature in your joints, have a couple of bottles socked away for a rainy day, because once you start taking this, you don't want to be without it.
I have a question.
Yes. Hi, Lori.
Hi. My mom has problems with her knees. Would this be something good that she would be able to use?
It is definitely worth a try. My mom also has joint issues, and she had tried several other products, and this is one that she was able to see impact with. So yeah, just put her on it, tell her take it at least 14 days, and then be sure. Here's the thing I would recommend for everybody, if you're going to do this yourself or recommend it to a friend. See how you feel at the beginning. Even write it down, like what exactly are you experiencing in your joints? And then take it for 14 days and then go back to that and check in. How are you feeling? Because it's so subtle, the improvement, that I didn't do this when I first started. I just put it in my little, supplement box. I didn't even notice that I wasn't creaking and popping and snapping until I stopped taking it. That's when I noticed. But it's nice to check in after that 14 days, because you will see a difference. But it's hard to detect that if you weren't tracking and, being aware and observing what you were experiencing before.
One more
But
question.
yeah, get some for mom. Yes. Hi, Vicki.
Hi, I had double knee replacements on December the 22nd. Now I'm riding my bike, I'm walking, I'm hiking, but slow down when I'm good as long as I'm moving. Before I was hurting moving. Now when I sit down, everything gets stiff. Now, what will AgilEase help with the ligaments that remain?
Yes. Yes, girl, yes. I've got a couple of things in this presentation that would actually be good for you to try, but definitely I would strongly recommend adding AgilEase in to your through recovery. So December, January, February, they usually double knee replace. That's a 6-month recovery period is what they tell you. But if you're already back on bikes and everything, I would definitely say it's safe to add AgilEase into your regimen and see how you feel.
Thank you.
It has no known drug interactions. And so it shouldn't this is a safe recommendation. You just try it and see how you feel.
Great. Thank you.
Fantastic. All right. Any other questions before we move on to PowerGise? Wow, we're 36 minutes in and I've gotten through one thing. This is why we couldn't do the whole every single thing, but here we go. PowerGise. PowerGise is one that I take in the morning before yoga. So I do my 4 pills. I do AgilEase, PowerGise, and the next one that we talk about before I go to my 90-minute hot yoga class. PowerGise is all about helping to sustain energy levels, but it also strengthens your mental and physical vibrancy and vitality in general. Now, this is a product that was formulated and originally really marketed toward men to help with stamina. And yes, I'm saying that with a smile on my face because actually it really does support male reproductive health, circulation, all those things. However, there is nothing in this that is harmful to women, and it's also really helpful for supporting us through workouts. Now, I started taking this when I was getting back into shape a couple of years ago. PowerGise was new, and it was kind of the joke around the office, like, oh yeah, I saw him in the employee store and he had a cart full of PowerGise, ha ha ha, kind of like goldenrod is also really good for male reproductive system. So it was one of those kinds of things. But in talking to some of the people in R&D, they're like, actually, this product is no joke. It's really great to support anybody who's working on getting in shape. So yes, it does help with stamina, but you need that in lots of different places other than just, men in certain situations. So it's formulated with something called KSM 66. And what that is, it's a premium ashwagandha root extract. Because I don't know if you've heard anything about ashwagandha, it's becoming more and more popular for what it's able to do for your physical vitality. But there's so many different grades out there. It's really easy with both ashwagandha and ginseng to get kind of the lower quality ones that still cost a lot but won't do as much in your body. So KSM 66 is one of the top premium ashwagandha extracts that is the most effective and bioavailable in the body. So not only does it support your physical activity and your physical strength, but it's also really good for your immune system, mental clarity, concentration, and being able to stay focused or mental alertness. So it really helps with creating muscle. So actually increasing muscle size and strength or endurance. It can help enhance your muscle tone. That's the reason I take it. That's the reason this is on my top I love this list, is because I was able to visibly notice an improvement in my muscle tone much faster than when I was working out without it. So I love that. It also helps me get through my workout without feeling tired in the middle. It also includes things that help to help with muscle recovery, so that your rate of muscle recovery is shorter. People will recover their muscle soreness, tiredness faster than without it.
Love
Anything else I wanted to say about PowerGise? I'm trying to think. Like, yes, it definitely supports healthy testosterone levels, but it does that for both men and women. And women produce testosterone as well, and we really need it to be in healthy balance with our estrogen. So I'm just gonna kind of highlight this and make sure nobody's concerned about it, no matter what you've heard. Taking PowerGise is not going to throw off your estrogen levels, okay? It is going to help keep your testosterone within healthy levels, which is important for men and women. So that's PowerGise. I love this stuff. I take 2 a day, but I only take 2 of these if I'm going to work out.
Interesting.
There's no harm in taking it anyway, but because of what it does for your muscle tone, I just think it's a waste of my pills if I'm not going to go to the gym. So I take it about 10 to 15 minutes before getting into the gym. That's PowerGise.
Will it keep you awake?
You know what? I have not had a great experience with popping PowerGise to keep me awake. It does enhance endurance when you're exercising, like during a workout, but it's not like caffeine or a stimulant that's going to wake you up if you're sleeping.
Okay.
Works completely different way in the body. But that is a great question. The next one up is what you need to take if you're, taking those long blinks in the afternoon. So next up is Nitro. This is the last thing I do before I head out to Bikram yoga. Ningxia Nitro. This is what I use when I'm tired during the day as well, because this actually contains caffeine. So Ningxia Nitro, I've taught several classes about Ningxia Red and how fantastic it is, as a wellness supplement, how it supports your well-being. It's got all these incredible benefits to it that come from the Ningxia wolfberry. Well, we actually have a lot of products that use the wolfberry in it. Ningxia Red is the most popular. Ningxia Nitro is one that actually contains a little bit of caffeine. This says it's delicious. I say it's an acquired taste. What do you think about the taste, Todd?
I'm the biggest fan, to be honest.
It's one of those things, like I don't drink it recreationally just because it's so yummy.
Right. Steven loves it though. So,
and it's like, it's not bad. There's a lot worse you can do, and especially with like the super fruit blend. I'll tell you some of the ingredients in this. It is a powerhouse. So these teeny tiny little tubes, they look like toothpaste tubes. What you do is you shake them up, because there's a lot of stuff going on inside that little tube. And you pull the foil lid off and squeeze it all in your mouth. Okay, so it is a liquid. It is dark red, like darker. It's around the color of blueberry juice.
Yep.
It's infused with essential oils, botanical extracts, D-ribose, Korean ginseng. We talked about different quality levels of ginseng out there. Korean ginseng is one of the most potent. It is not the most delicious, but it is the most potent as far as getting an energy boost, more bang for your buck. And then it's also got green tea extract. That's where the caffeine in this product comes from. So all of that together, along with some of the ingredients I'm going to rattle off to you in a second, all support alertness and cognitive fitness. So this is not just the same as a shot of adrenaline or a shot of caffeine. It's actually good for your brain health. And that's because of everything else that's in it. So it's got mulberry leaf extract. We talked about the Korean ginseng. It's got vanilla, chocolate oil. This is one of the only places you will get seed to seal quality chocolate oil. Yerba mate oil, which that's a popular drink right now, but you can actually get a very concentrated shot of it in Nitro. Spearmint oil, peppermint, nutmeg, which is also great for cognitive fitness. Black pepper we know is fantastic for anti-inflammatory properties and its antioxidant qualities. Wolfberry seed oil that has a whole nother spectrum of nutrients in it and good things for the brain again. In addition to that, it's got purified water, cherry, kiwi, blueberry, acerola, bilberry, black currant, raspberry, strawberry, cranberry, coconut nectar, and a little bit of natural pectin to kind of bind it all together so it doesn't all separate, but you still need to shake this up before you drink it. So that's a lot, right? And all of that is in that tiny tube. You also get from the green tea extract 40 milligrams of naturally occurring caffeine. Now that's not very much. You think about a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, you're talking 100 milligrams. But this has a small amount of caffeine in it, but that little amount goes a longer way because of all those other things in it, like the Korean ginseng, like the chocolate oil, like the black pepper. You've got all these other things stimulating your cognitive alertness, so you don't need as much caffeine to go the same distance. So that is Ningxia Nitro. I take one of these before I get into the hot room, and it definitely along with that, PowerGise powers my workout. So that's my pre-workout regimen, those three. Any questions before we move on?
Yes,
No.
I have a question. With
Yes.
all of those things that's in Nitro, is that your daily fruit for the day if you drink one of those?
Great question. Okay, so this I would not, you can't replace what you're getting from fruit with this, because it's the same as like orange essential oil is not going to replace eating an orange. Because it's got the extract in it does not mean that it has the full spectrum of vitamins, minerals, fiber, complex carbohydrates, all those other things that your body's getting for fuel from the whole fruit. This has the extracts and oils that have the specific compounds and constituents that are there for cognitive fitness, but this would not be considered like a multivitamin or anything like that. Great question.
Okay, thank you.
You know, I actually, people swear by this something bomb they call it, but it's a combination of Nitro, Ningxia Red, and Zinc.
Yes.
Right?
The bird bomb. Yes.
Yes. That's right. So yeah, that's something that I think it's I've never done it. And to be honest, I'm not a fan of the Nitro, but many people are. And so I literally do Ningxia Red and Zinc together all the time with my oils. So anyway.
Nice. See, I did 2/3 of a bird bomb yesterday before we did our surf lesson. So you guys, I'm in San Diego with my baby sister. We did a surf lesson, both of our first times on a surfboard. And I did a shot of Ningxia Red and put a Nitro in it. But I did not have a Zing. I drank all my Zing on the car ride up. So there you go. All right, well, we are ready. If there's no other questions about Nitro, I'm going to keep it pushing. That's all my pre-workout stuff. We're going to get into some of the things that I use either right alongside or right after. So AminoWise is another product that I really feel like does not get talked about enough in Young Living. It comes in this little tub. You open it up and it's a loose powder. It's a very, very fine powder. It looks like chalk. It's it's white with a slightly pinkish tint to it. And what it is, it was developed and formulated to fill the need for a post-workout product within the nutritional product line in Young Living. But it's more than just what you'd usually get with an amino acid supplement. So if you're into sports, you probably are familiar and have used some type of amino acid supplement before, but this one is triple targeted. So it's got branched chain amino acids for muscle building and repair. That's what they're for. They help your muscles recover. That's what this is all about. Reducing soreness after a workout, increasing muscle repair and muscle building. It also has polyphenol and antioxidants for that recovery, but it also has a hydrating mineral blend to replace all those minerals that you're losing when you sweat. So think of, well, I shouldn't name a brand, but you think of those sports drinks that I've always hated because they taste kind of like drinking sweat. They're a little sugary, a little salty. That's for a reason, because they've got the minerals that you're losing when you sweat it out, all those electrolytes. So this has that, all those in them. What those drinks have in them, the reason I never drink, no, okay, I'm getting encouragement to go ahead and name a brand. The reason I will not touch Gatorade, Powerade, you name it, if it's on the sports drink aisle, I won't touch it, is because most of those contain petrochemicals of one kind or another that are not only linked to carcinogens, but also really bad for the planet and the environment. They come in all kinds of assortments of colors that you will not find in nature. Many of them have food colorings and dyes in them that are illegal in other countries, like Europe. They won't use, red B40 or whatever that is, but it's all over your Powerades, Gatorades, all your sports drinks. So AminoWise has in it all the things that are good for your body that those have, with none of the bad stuff. Mm-hmm. So we were talking about the trifold reasons why this is an incredible supplement, because it helps you not be sore the next day. If you know that you're pushing it in the gym and you're just getting back into it, I would bring a bottle of this to sip on, just put some of this powder into your water bottle for the gym, sip on it throughout the workout, and then have one more after you're done working out as your muscles have cooled down already. So the 3 reasons I love it: it's great for muscle building and repair. It's great for reducing muscle fatigue, so it'll actually help your workout go better while you're there. And then the hydration mineral blend helps to replenish so that you don't get dehydrated from the workout. So we talked about that it's got the branched chain of amino acids that have been shown in studies to aid in preventing muscle catabolism from working out. So you're not losing muscle density, burning that muscle up. You're building on top of it instead of destroying it. So it can help you actually make better gains in the gym, literally, according to studies. It's also formulated with wolfberry powder. It's a wolfberry lemonade flavor is what they call it, because it's also got lemon and lime essential oils in it. No preservatives, no synthetic colors, we talked about that, no artificial flavors, and contains no added sugar or artificial sweeteners, yet it still tastes good because it's got those amino acids in it already. It's got that kind of tang, like lemonade type flavor to it. So you do 1 scoop of that in your water bottle, you shake it up really good, and it turns your water kind of like a pink lemonade is what it looks like. I'll say the flavor on this one is much better than Nitro. It may be an acquired taste. I don't know. You'll have to let me know if anybody thinks it's terrible. But if you've ever taken any other amino acid supplements before, this one is way better than any I've ever taken. And my sister used to use one called Sport when she was a competitive gymnast that really helped with her muscles. This has more of the actual amino acids in it and tastes better. So it's a win for me. Any questions about AminoWise before we move on? I think I've got 2 more that I want to talk about.
All
You
right.
said we just need 1 scoop of the AminoWise?
Yes, 1 scoop. So it comes with a little plastic scooper in there. You put it in, it says 8 ounces of water, but it really depends on, you know, your taste. I put it in
Okay.
16 ounces of water because,
Okay.
you know, helps me stay hydrated. I don't love drinking water by itself. I'm oil spoiled. So I always put some kind of flavoring in my water, whether it's lemon oil or whatnot. So I just, you know, spread it out like that.
Okay.
But it has a sweet taste to it, even though it's unsweetened. And that comes from the wolfberry powder. Good question. Any other questions? Oh, definitely better in cold water. So if you can chill your water first, it definitely tastes better than room temperature, which is how I usually drink my water.
Love
But
it.
that's just a preference thing. Just as effective at any temperature. Okay,
Love it.
next up, Todd, are these my last? No, there's 1 slide after this
Yep.
because I did another comparison. I tried to sneak it in. I'm like, oh, we'll keep it short. And by short, I mean, I'll try to stick to an hour, but we got to do some comparisons because when we're talking about fitness, well, we talked about joint pain earlier and, you know, what might be good. These are 2 that I definitely want you to take note of if you've got joint inflammation, cartilage issues, any of those kinds of things.
Mhm.
These are 2 of our most popular essential oil. We couldn't leave oils off. We've talked about supplements, we've talked about nutritionals, but sometimes don't get a lot of glory or spotlight. We've got to bring it back to oils because we're young living. So these are 2 of the top muscle soothing essential oil blends that we sell. PanAway and Deep Relief. A lot of people ask what's the difference between the 2. So I did a comparison slide here. PanAway comes in your starter kit. If you started with the premium collection, then you've got a bottle of this. It's got that safety cap on it because it has the wintergreen in it. But it also has helichrysum. So wintergreen is fantastic for, it's an anti-inflammatory. Health Canada recognizes wintergreen as a great treatment. Like it has to be a drug in the US for us to call it a treatment. But in Health Canada, they say it's a great treatment for arthritis, back pain, joint discomfort, sprains, strains, anything like that in the joints. So that's wintergreen. It's in PanAway. Helichrysum is phenomenal for restoring and supporting healthy cartilage and tendons. So bones, ligaments, joints, and muscles. It's also got some clove, which is one of nature's most powerful anti-inflammatories, and then peppermint, that's fantastic for soothing. And that's where we get the natural menthol from. So there's only 4 oils in PanAway, but they are 4 powerful oils. PanAway is fantastic for muscle discomfort. Okay, it's got that helichrysum that's great for, you know, ligaments, joints, all those extra things. But PanAway is a superhero for sore muscles or tired muscles, overworked muscles, things like that. It's fantastic to just massage onto your calves, or, you know, if you've got any sort of muscle-based discomfort. When we talk about the history of PanAway, and people say, okay, what's it for? I just tell them this is a historical fact. This oil used to be called PanAway. Now it's called PanAway. There you go. No claims, no nothing, just a little historical tidbit for you. But that's PanAway. Deep Relief.
I give a fact.
Yes.
It removes my back pain.
There you
So, that's a fact. So
Okay. Both
Yep.
of these are great to use if you've got any sort of muscle discomfort like that. You can also use it under a hot or cold compress. So you'll massage the oil on first, and then you'll layer some heat on top of it, or cold, but that will drive the oil deeper. Deep Relief. So you recognize those first 4 ingredients. It's got wintergreen, it's got the helichrysum, it's got clove and peppermint, but then it keeps on going. It's got lemon, that is fantastic for supporting the circulatory system. Balsam fir, copaiba, which is a natural dietary cannabinoid that's fantastic for soothing and supporting the nervous system. Okay, so any type of nervous system pain, nerve pain, it's great for those types of pain that, you know, are above and beyond just tired muscles. Vetiver is another one that is a muscle relaxer, but it works on the neurological level. And then it's also got some coconut oil, so it's already diluted. It's got a carrier oil in it in that roll-on. So those are the differences between PanAway and Deep Relief. PanAway great for muscles, Deep Relief great for a lot of things beyond just the muscles. I also believe, so you guys know my spiritual side, my metaphysical side. Deep Relief is also fantastic for cleansing, clearing a lot of the stressors that we go through on an emotional or energetic level. I love applying Deep Relief just to the root brain stem, root of the brain stem. So right there at the occipital ridge at the back of the neck. If you're going through some pains and you're not mystery pains, shoulder pains, back pains, especially you're holding tension between the shoulder blades, a lot of the stress that we carry from life, we carry in our muscles, in our tissues, in our body. Rolling on some Deep Relief and doing some breath work is a fantastic way to alleviate some of those mystery aches and pains. So that's Deep Relief.
Love it.
And the last one that'll put us almost within an hour. Todd, I'm getting better.
No, before you go, any questions? Because that's new for some people. Deep Relief and PanAway. Because I think PanAway and Deep Relief are amazing for me for pain. And I'm actually just reading some of the, you know, information and better understanding now why that is. I love when you go into detail because it sparks curiosity. Right? And I look at helichrysum, and it talks about in the desk reference, helichrysum is a regenerates nerves, right? So you think about how pain is actually being caused, and so that's pretty powerful. Just thinking about that, you know. Anyway.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. How would you distinguish which one you would use? Or would you use them both at the same time, although they have the same things?
Great question, Rose. So because I have both of them, so rule number one is use what you have. If you're trying to decide, okay, what should I order? I decide which one, because I have both at my house, which one I'm going for based on what type of pain I'm in.
Okay.
Okay, so if it's muscle, primarily muscle, I'll just go with the PanAway. If it is, you know, and I'm not supposed to name drop, but I'm trying to train for a little 5K that had shin splints. That's not really the muscles. That's, you know, the ligaments, the joints right in between, you know, connecting that muscle tissue. I use Deep Relief and I roll it right on there. And then I put my little hot towel over it. So it depends on what kind of pain, what kind of experience you're going through will determine which one I reach for. But you can also layer. So I got this layering trick that I got from Karen, and she's fantastic with it. And she will, if she's talking to somebody about oils and they've got uncomfortable shoulders or discomfort, you know, someplace, when she is teaching about the oil, she will apply PanAway. And then she will layer on top of that, you know, and she'll ask them, where's your pain? What number? No, not pain. What number of discomfort are you at from 1 to 10? She'll rub on the PanAway. She's talking to them about the ingredients. And then she'll ask them what number they're at. And if they've still got a number, because sometimes PanAway will knock it right out, then she'll layer Deep Relief on top of it. So she's not pre-mixing them, she's layering. And then she'll talk to them about the ingredients of Deep Relief. Usually they're good at that point, but if not, you can go ahead and change the slide, Todd, to this last one. If they're not all the way good, she will layer on top of that whichever one she has in her purse, the Cool Azul sports gel or the Cool Azul pain cream. We're going to talk about the difference between that. And out of those three, that's usually enough, unless you've got a serious chronic condition where you need to be, you know, seeking medical attention. That is enough to take care of it, even just in the time that it takes to have the conversation. Which is another encouragement I want to give you guys. If you're working with sharing oils, try to have them on hand, try to open them up and share an experience, because what I'm doing here is talking to you about ingredients, but it will never be as fantastic as opening them up, putting them on your body and experiencing the difference. Like, no matter how good I am at going into the ingredients and talking about the science, my talking will never be as good as actually using the product. So as much as possible, as often as possible, open them up when you're sharing with somebody and let them experience it. So let's talk about these two. This is our last comparison. I left CBD off because we've got, you know, the CBD pain ointments, but these two, those are great. These two, if you're not doing CBD, or if, you know, you just don't have it on hand, these two predate Young Living's CBD line. The one on the right, the blue tube, has been around for a long time. The one on the left-hand side, the Cool Azul pain relief cream in the white tube, is newer. So a lot of people wonder, like, what's the difference? How do they stack up? Why would you, do you need both? Do you need one or the other? These are strictly your preference. I have both, I use both, but again, it's just your preference. So when we talked about layering, I like to use the sports gel just because it is gel based. So the gel comes from aloe vera. We know about the water content in aloe vera and how moisturizing it is for the skin. And so water and oil, we've talked about, you know, they don't mix. So adding water is going to expand your oil experience. Now, both of these products have a blend of essential oils in them. Both of these products have the same essential oils, but when it comes to the base and the other content in the tube, that's where the difference is. So that I didn't list out the oils because the Cool Azul blend is the same in both. Fantastic for anti-inflammatory, fantastic for muscle recovery, fantastic for soothing tired muscles and ligaments and joints, both of them. What's the difference? So in the white tube, you've got a cream base. That comes from mango seed butter. So that's an oil base. It's also really, you know, moisturizing for the skin, and it doesn't have a super greasy feel to it, even though it's got that mango seed butter in there. The other one is gel based, so it's a little stickier. If you've ever put aloe vera gel on your skin, you know it's got that kind of sticky, it doesn't rub all the way into your skin. Okay, so for that reason, some people like one more than they like the other. The Cool Azul gel, it's clearish. It's got arnica, which is another herb that's fantastic for pulling out bruises or you know, preventing. So if you got an injury and you know it's going to bruise, I always reach for arnica gel. Cool Azul sports gel has arnica in it. The cream does not. Cool Azul has willow bark extract. That's also fantastic for repairing damaged muscles. You got a bump or a scrape or something like that. Willow bark extract, a great one. The Cool Azul cream doesn't have that in it, but it does have that mango seed butter. It has safflower seed oil, and it's got OTC claims. So it's got, that's why it can say the word pain on it, is because the amount of methyl salicylate and natural menthol is labeled and is registered as an OTC product. So you can say, this is going to help you with your back pain. This is going to help you with your arthritis, joint discomfort, and things like that. So that's the major differences between the two. I love them both, but now that you know which one, you can just kind of pick according to your own preferences. So that is the last of, this is So we did my pre-workout, what I do during a workout, and then after workout, muscle recovery. These are the products that I use all the time. They are a major part of supporting me in my fitness routine. If you have any questions about any of these products, please don't hesitate to reach out to either myself or Todd. You can also find what's called PIPs, product information pages for each one of those products in your virtual office if you have a Young Living account already. So I'll turn it back over to Todd to take some questions and wrap up.
I love it. Thank you so much, Leslie. I honestly am excited about trying some things that I haven't tried with a reason, hopefully, to try them. I've been dealing with and trying some of the products like, obviously, PanAway, Deep Relief, AgilEase, which I call old men issues. I'm looking, so I'm looking forward to trying some like the AminoWise, right? Or PowerGise that are really more focused on recovery and supporting activity, active people. And so I'm looking forward to trying some of those. So appreciate the tips. Very helpful as we enter the summer months. Any questions you guys have for Leslie before we wrap up and do a giveaway? Who is excited about the product? What's that? I'm excited about the AminoWise. I'm gonna give that a shot. So let's stop recording and